Hey everybody, I'm Chef Brian Duffy, and I am the host of the World Food Championship 2025 Final Table. And I have the honor and the privilege to be sitting here right now with the 2025 World Food Champion winner, Chef Collin Hilton. Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
Super proud of you, dude.
Appreciate it.
How's it feel?
I'm still unwrapping all the emotions, man. But mainly relieved. I'm just done losing sleep over this, so hopefully I can take a deep breath and sleep. But yeah, phenomenal.
Couple of breaths, man. It's a big one. You know, you've been working, the whole year from Indianapolis, getting that invite to Indianapolis and then making it up to here. I hate to say this kind of cliche thing, but what have you been doing?
As far as preparation?
Yeah.
Not as much as I had hoped. Life's busy, man. I'm still got a daytime job,
Right.
Cooking as well. I guess because it's my career, every day I'm cooking is a little bit of practice one way or the other. So I guess always honing the craft in that regard. But kind of as it got a little closer, we sort of started to bouncing ideas off, like what could we possibly do. I've kind of learned that maybe I'm a bit of a procrastinator.
Some of us are. Some of us are.
So it kind of more of like a super crunch time in the last 2 weeks of like figuring it out and doing a couple practice runs just to make sure we could get the timing down. But besides that, just kind of going with the flow of life.
So you had 3 challenges coming into this. The first one was a retail challenge, where you have to go shopping at Sam's Club. You've got to pick your products out and get ready to go. What dish did you make for that?
So I did a pan-seared salmon, and I struggle really hard at what to call what the rest of it is, but I guess it'd be kind of like a coconut curry romesco, a few greens and things like that in there, and then just kind of rounded it all out with a Brussels sprout, a green oil, and a bunch of cara.
It was super delicious across the board. It was something that the judges talked about. Salmon being something that is most of the time overcooked when you get it.
Yeah.
And yours had just accolades across the board. That 1/4-inch sear that happened across that beautiful crispy skin, that Brussels sprout that you had popped on top of there, and all of that grain, the crunch, the texture, and the flavor just came together so well. Just so you guys know, I'm not a judge in this, but I did taste these dishes.
Sure.
And I tasted yours, and that first bite, I was like, this guy's got some skills, man. He's got some talent. So you really executed that dish very, very well.
Thank you. It was honestly really surreal and humbling to have kind of the whole judging panel go down the line, like not even talking about the dish, but just be like, this is like one of the best pieces of salmon I've ever had.
It was
back
huge.
to back. It's like, oh, hell yeah, I can at least cook a fish.
Second competition was Taste and Recreate. You got to go to Mezzaluna. You got to try a dish out there with that pasta. You are a fan of pasta and noodle and the whole 9 yards, which is how you got here. What was that like, having that? It's not an easy thing to have a dish and then have to recreate that, especially for the creator of that dish.
Honestly, it was a psychological challenge, if more than anything. That dish, very simple.
Very simple.
Me and my sous chefs were trying to, like last night, we were like writing out like how do we even get to 10 ingredients together? Like what do you think the 10th ingredient is? So it was a bit of a guessing game trying to figure out what it is. Obviously, you get the mystery basket there, and then it's more of a trying to narrow it down, like which one, what's the bogus one? And I did miss a couple, but it sounded like actually where I missed, I did a good enough job and a cool enough thing that it didn't seem to matter too much in the scoring. So a cool experience. My first time doing that. I love playing that game on my own. Like if I'm out to eat, I'm just like, man, what are they doing? Like, so it's just, and you're always watching. If you're in the industry, you're always watching kitchens. You're staring in there. Like, what's that piece of equipment? What's in that bottle? So it's super fun, but definitely challenging to actually do it into something that had a little more skin in the game. So
absolutely, especially when there's 150 grand on the line.
Yeah.
I know they added some ingredients in there, and it's funny because I'm a huge fan of marjoram. It's just something that I love. It's an obscure herb. Not a lot of people use it. And I was thinking to myself, how would I play that out? And I would have, put my own spin, and I would have definitely added that in. Sure. And it's funny, nobody else did. Yeah. Nobody else used that. They kind of saw that and kind of bypassed it. So it was funny. I was like, all right, I totally would have been kicked out on this round. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. And then that final one is your culinary journey and how you got here.
Sure.
Talk to me about that dish that you did.
Where do I begin? That's it's kind of a weird dish, I guess. That dish took a lot of self-reflection, and it's like, why do I cook? I mean, I like dropped out of college, followed a girl to culinary school. Like, I'm like, you make life decisions that don't really like necessarily add up.
Right.
Like, but the whole journey, I mean, like I've always cooked. I've always been attracted to cooking mainly because I like working hard, but I like the connections that I make with people. I particularly like the connection I make with people that cook and that also work hard and put their head down and get what it's like to just grind and not really like get that validation or recognition on a daily basis. And so I wanted to put something forward that kind of like I meant to say more of this in the competition, but I'm more like drawn from like staff meal, like that's something that I would have been so stoked to give like a kitchen of like cooks.
Yeah.
Because it's just like it's like every like weird cool thing off of like every dish down the line that you like into one.
Yeah.
And so it's like make something cool and brothy, but add some spice, add something obscure like ricotta negro, where it's like that's not an ingredient or a recipe you really necessarily see a lot here in the States. And so I don't know really how I came to it. Besides, I wanted to do something a little less fine dining and tuiles and garnishes and foams and things like that. I just wanted to do something honest. So that's what I came up with.
Dude, you crushed it. The broth was out of this world. The accompaniment that you had in there, especially, I said it to you earlier about that salsa matcha that I'm such a fan of.
Sure, me too.
You know, and it's so obscure. Not many people are using it. I know it's starting to make a little bit more light into things right now, and people are starting to see it. And as I said, I'm hoping it's not the balsamic glaze, you know, in 5 years. It's something that is really a great complex salsa. And it's that salsa that gets hidden all the way at the bottom of the salsa list.
Sure,
you know, your pasta was out of this world. The way you incorporated the fresh peas into that to add that crunch and that freshness and that springiness to it was wonderful. The broth was something that I just continued to drink, you know, and I was not judging, and they were giving me the plates, and I was hoping that not everybody was going to finish it. And just so you know, there was only one dish that did not get finished. Everybody else sucked up the entire thing. Yeah. So I kind of had to fight to get that final plate. So you did a really great job with it. It was a beautiful presentation. You guys can see it when we show it to you. You did a really great job, man. You should be very, very proud of yourself.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me.
And then what about work? What happens at work? Where are you? Where are you the chef? What are you doing?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I honestly kind of like this competition. My path, I sort of keep falling into things. So I'm my official title is I'm the corporate chef de cuisine.
Okay.
So I answer to the executive board and the owner. But my day to day is really helping we've got 43 restaurants.
Wow.
Helping the chefs of those restaurants kind of develop their menus, come up with new things.
That's great.
But we also have a ton of single entity restaurants that we have extremely great high caliber chefs that don't necessarily need help, or if they do, it's just can I help you source something, or can I help you with what I think is trending a little bit better, or let's look at the analytics of your menu. What really isn't working? Like, how can we think about making this more successful for the company and also you as a chef? And so, I'm pretty fortunate. I think a lot of people look to me and covet the job I have because I just get the opportunity to be creative, eat awesome food, and have not too crazy of hours.
Sure. That's cool, man. It's funny that you and I are very similar in many ways. I was a corporate exec for a restaurant group as well, where I kind of found a great footing, which led me into that chef position. Mm-hmm. You know, I came out of French kitchens in Philadelphia and grabbed that world, and then fell into a kitchen where I learned that yelling at people was the way you did things.
Sure, yeah.
You know, and then I grew and really learned what it was to be a chef in the role that you're in now, the role that I got to play as well. And it's a great thing. It's a cool thing that you get to put your stamp and your little footprint on different things all over there, especially with 43 restaurants, man. Yeah, that's a massive undertaking.
It's a whirlwind. I mean, So it's springtime. It's menu change season, so it's go time. But
what's the name of your restaurant group that you're in?
It's called Cunningham Restaurant Group.
Cunningham,
or CRG.
Okay, CRG, and you guys are and they're all based in Indianapolis?
Our headquarters are based out of Indianapolis. The majority of our restaurants are in Indianapolis or the metropolitan area, but we do have a couple restaurants throughout Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah. Nice. Very nice. You have a social that we can give to people so they can follow you since you're now going to be, since you are now the current reigning world food champion?
Sure, yeah. It's my name, one word, Collin Hilton Cooks.
Well, that's cool, man.
off, so.
Well, dude, congratulations. Seriously, you killed it. It was a wonderful opportunity to get you to watch you cook and see you move forward, and ultimately to win that prize. And now you get to go home and do some bragging, and and then, well, unfortunately, we got to go right back to work.
Sure. Yeah.
So
yeah, of course.
thanks so much for coming out. Thanks for taking the time away from your family and your job to come out and do this. It was a true pleasure to watch you cook.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
True pleasure to be a part of it. Thank you.
Nice job, guys. Well, there we go. We are sitting here with the current world food champion winner of the final table in Bentonville, Arkansas. We look forward to watching you move forward and going back to Indianapolis next year to kind of defend yourself.
Sure, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, right here, world food champion, Chef Collin Hilton.